Okay, 6.5. Question 1. A square has an area of 15 centimeters square. What is the length of the side of the square? We can let the length be x. So now we can say that x times x equals to 15. X times x is x squared. Now we can square root both sides to get x equals to the square root of 15. And I can type this into the calculator. The square root of 15 is 3.9. So we can say that the length is 3.9 centimeter. Question 2. Rectangle. We have a rectangle has a width of 30 millimeter and a length of 50 millimeter. What is the length of the diagonal of the rectangle? This is the diagonal. I can call that B for diagonal. I'll put the 50 here. So now you can say that we have a right triangle. We have 50 squared plus 30 squared equals to D squared. So 3400 equals to D squared, and then we square root both sides. We get D equals 58.3, and this will be in millimeter. Question 3. So if we let the top be north, then this will be east, south, and west. So if you want to memorize this, you can, just say never eat sour. I forgot what W stands for. Never eat sour. Yeah, forgot, sorry. But how I memorize it is never enter stinky washroom. Okay. So question 3, Addison traveled 1 km north. So this is Addison. She travels 1 km north, 2 km east, 3 km north, and 4 km east. How far is she from her starting point? So this is where she started, this is where she is now. So we are trying to calculate this purple distance. I can make it into a right triangle. That's 2. And that's 4. So in total, this will be 6. This is 1, this is 3, so the total distance here is 4. And now we just need to do a Pythagorean. I will call this D for distance. So 6 squared plus 4 squared equals to D squared. So 36 plus 16 is 52 equals to D squared, and then we square with both sides, we get D equals 7.2. And this is in km. Question 4. The hypotenuse of a right triangle is 17 and one leg is 15. Find the area of the triangle. So I need to find h, the height of the triangle. So I can say h squared plus 15 squared equals to 17 squared. H squared equals to 17 squared minus 15 squared. H squared equals 64. And then we square with both sides. We get h equals to 8. So now the area is just base, which is 15, times the height, which is 8, divided by 2. And we get 60. This is in centimeters squared. Question 5. The sides of a triangle are 6, 9, 11. Is this a right triangle? So just need to check to see if the Pythagorean equation is true. With these side length, we get 36 plus 81 equals to 121. And they are not equal. Therefore, no. Not a right triangle. If a 26 feet ladder is placed against a wall, so this will be the wall. This will be the ladder. And it's 26 feet. Oh, yeah. So that it reaches a height of 25 feet. So that's 25. How far from the base of the wall are the feet of the ladder? So we are trying to find this distance. So we can say d squared plus 25 squared equals to 26 squared. D squared equals to 26 squared minus 25 squared. D squared equals 51. And then we square root both sides to get D equals 7.1 feet. Question 7. The length of the diagonal of a rhombus. So this is a rhombus. Rhombus has 4 equal. This is the diagonal. The longer one is 18 and the shorter one is 12. So a rhombus has all sides that are equal. So I'll just call that x. So the perimeter will just be 4 times x. Because the vertical diagonal is 18, so I can say that these are 9. They're being cut exactly into halves. And then horizontally is 12. So if we cut that in half, that's 6. Now I can take this right triangle out. This one right here. 6, 9, and x. And then we can do a Pythagorean. 6 squared plus 9 squared equals to x squared. So 117 equals to x squared. We square with both sides. We got x equals 10.8. So perimeter is 4 times x, which is 4 times 10.8. We get 43.3. And this is in centimeter. Question 8. Two sides of a right triangle measures 7 and 24. What are the possible length of the third side? We can assume that these are the smaller two sides. I can also assume that 24 is the longest side, right? Because they did not use the word legs or hypotenuse, right? You already know the hypotenuse is always opposite to the 90-degree angle, which is C. And the legs are these two. These two are called the legs of a right triangle. So because they only use the word side, so we don't know. 24 could be one of the leg or it could be the hypotenuse. Okay, so those are the two possible triangles. So we have 7 squared plus 24 squared equals to c squared. We have 625 equals to c squared. We square with both sides, we get c equals to 25. Here, in the other triangle, we have a squared plus 7 squared equals to 24 squared. A squared equals 24 squared minus 7 squared. A squared equals 527. We square with both sides. We get a equals 22.956 or 23. So the possible length equals to 25 centimeter or 23 centimeter. Okay, I will do the next page of the problem in the next video. See you soon.